The Earth has entered a new ice age. Global temperatures continue to drop with no signs of stopping. But please, don't give up hope. The government hasn't forgotten about us. As long as we stand together, we will overcome this crisis. Let's together. Han Feng. In his shelter, a voice kept calling him. Han Feng got up to find out for sure. Han Feng, Yeona, what are you doing here? Come inside, it's dangerous out there. As soon as he opened the door, the woman who had called him threw herself at him and kissed him by surprise. The kiss was long and seemed to be filled with a certain passion. You kiss me the second I open the door. What's gotten into you, Yeona? I realize that you're the one I truly love, Han Feng. You're the one I'm supposed to be with. It takes a crisis to see someone's true colors, to see who really cares, who'll be there for you no matter what. If you don't believe me here, feel my heartbeat. I'm willing to do anything with you now. Anything? The woman used sexual provocation, giving the impression that she was deliberately trying to distract his attention. Yeona, you have no idea how much your words mean to me. But right now, shh, don't say another word. Just close your eyes for me, okay? My eyes are closed. Now what? After that, the woman asked him to close his eyes. Han Feng obediently complied, unaware that he might never open them again. Emerging from the shadows where he was hiding, a man jumped on him and knocked him on the head. You killed him. Don't even try to play innocent. You knew he had to go. Deep down, you knew it. The world went to hell a long time ago. One less mouth to feed isn't going to change anything. Let's see what this chump was hoarding. I'd we play our cards right, we might survive until someone rescues us. I can't move. Am I dying? So this is what it feels like to die. Oh, you. Where are you touching? We can do that later. You really are a little minx, aren't you? I'm gonna have to reward you for that performance later. It's all that ruthlessly woman's fault. If there's a new life, I'm done being a lovesick puppy. At death's door, flashes of light flickered and drew closer and closer. What's this? Such a warm light. Is this the path to heaven? Wait. My hand, it feels like. Upon contact with the light, Han Feng's silhouette was immediately disintegrated. Following this event, he woke up abruptly, as if emerging from a terrifying nightmare. Where am I? 30 minutes later. So warm, I thought I'd never feel warmth again. I just checked the date. It's June 28th. The apocalypse. It started on July 15th. I was supposed to be dead, but I've come back in time half a month before the apocalypse, which means I've been reborn, but something's different this time. Something strange is happening. Ever since I woke up, this red glow, it's been around my right hand the whole time. It doesn't hurt or anything, just feels warm. It doesn't seem to do anything else. I thought I was imagining things at first. It turned green. It's getting bigger. Beams of light shooting out of my hand. How would science justify this? Now it's shrinking. This green light, it's so erratic. Shrinks and grows, not like the red one at all. I suddenly feel completely drained. Is this because of the green light? Damn it. What the hell is this thing? Wait a minute. This is just like those Manhwa stories I read. The protagonist is always reborn with cheat-like powers. It doesn't seem to react. I'm starving. There's nothing left in the fridge. This is bad. If I don't eat something soon, I'm gonna pass out. With nothing left to eat, Han Feng resorts to a jar of soybeans. Roasted soybeans. Leftover snacks from before the apocalypse. Not exactly a full meal, but it'll do for now. I better hit up the supermarket later. From his hand, which glowed green, he took a bean and threw it into his mouth. Immediately, it began to grow as if by magic. Ugh, what the? Are those the soybeans? I don't feel tired anymore. The green light is gone too. Did it have something to do with the soybeans? It's a bean sprout. This is my power. What an incredible discovery. I need to study it more. But right now, I have bigger fish to fry. I need to stock up on supplies before the world ends. Outside, the weather was beautiful. Birdsong filled the air, and the streets were bustling with people. Okay, so let me get this straight. First, there was a red glow around my hand. Then it turned green. The green glow shrinks and grows, making my heart beat faster and feel super tired. Then I touched the soybeans with my glowing hand, and it became bean sprouts. Ugh, what kind of power is this? Han Feng. What a coincidence. Are you out shopping too? It's like fate running into you like this. Lee Hyona, the goddess of my dreams for 3 long years. I had done everything to make her happy, even when I knew I was nothing but a fallback guy. But I never thought thought she would end up getting me killed. Stay calm. Now's not the time to take revenge. Not yet. I need to secure supplies first. Han Feng, what are you spacing out for? I've been calling your name for a while. Oh, sorry. You're looking especially beautiful today, Hyona. I got a bit lost at the moment. Oh my, stop it. Since when did you get so smooth? Well, now that we've run into each other, how about we do some shopping? Sorry, I can't today. Hyona never imagined that Han Feng would reject her. Nice try using me as your personal ATM again. Not this time, I'm not that foolish anymore. Waldemar Supermarket. Waldemar in A City is the largest and best-stocked supermarket in the eastern region. Of course, when the Ice Age hit, this place was cleaned out overnight. Nobody ever found out who did it. I need to stock up as much as I can before the apocalypse hits. Food, winter clothes, medicine, daily necessities, fuel. There's a lot to prepare. But right now, I've got a much bigger problem. Personal wallet, current balance, 15,357.50 yuan. What am I supposed to do with this? Money jar loans. Congratulations! Your 2023 credit evaluation has been approved. You're now eligible for a loan up to 168,800 yuan. To confirm, please click on the following link. Reply with F to refuse. That's right. How did I forget? There are plenty of ways to get a loan, and I won't have to pay it back after the apocalypse anyway. Meanwhile, Hyona still hasn't gotten over Han Feng's rejection. He's just one of my many simps, and he dares to refuse me. I'm seriously pissed off. Oh, if it isn't Hyona. Han Feng, is this car yours? Yeah, just got it. My dad's been killing it in the US, business-wise, so he wired me some cash. Just dropped him off at the airport, actually. Upon learning about Han Feng's situation and the reason for his rejection, Hyona's mood immediately changed. Oh, you were taking your father to the airport today. I'm sorry for asking you to go shopping with me without knowing. You were so cold earlier. I thought maybe you were ditching your friend, silly girl. Han Feng grabbed her hip, then pulled her strongly against him. Why would I ever ditch you, Hyona? You're way too important to me. You know, you're pretty special to me too, Han Feng. How about we have dinner and watch a movie today? I want to get to know you better. What do you think? No sooner had she savored her victory than Han Feng vanished from her field of vision. Man, I still have to carry all these things up. So busy. Why did you buy so much stuff? Hyona exclaimed, quite annoyed. Nothing special, just some stuff I like. Oh, right. I got you a present too. Well then, I'll look forward to it. I'm heading home. You better do. Nailed it. I can't let her find out about my little stockpile. It's my ticket to surviving the apocalypse after all. Just you wait. Once the world ends, you'll get what's coming to you. Both of you. Especially the guy who helped you kill me. Actually, I'm starting to look forward to the apocalypse. July 15th, the day it will begin. Heavy snow. Temperatures will plummet to 20 degrees Celsius. Over the next month, temperatures will continue to drop gradually, reaching lows of minus 70 degrees Celsius. The world will be encased in ice and snow, making it impossible to go outside. Food supply checked. That's why I need to stock up on enough food supplies, and it all needs to be packed and sealed. Can't let the neighbors suspect I'm hoarding all the food. Sensitive supplies must be moved by myself at night when no one's around. After the apocalypse, the power grid will be extremely unstable. That's where this bad boy comes in, a generator, plus enough fuel to keep it running for a year at least. When the apocalypse hits, the heating system will stop, so I need to modify my house for independent heating, and also reinforce those doors and windows. While I'm at it, room modification done. I need a dedicated room for storing supplies too. By the time I finished getting everything ready, it was already July 14th, just one day before the temperature plummets. Next, it's time for the main event, to survive in the upcoming Ice Age apocalypse. Relying solely on the supplies I've accumulated won't be enough. This power to manipulate plants is my only hope. All these soybeans, I grew them myself using my ability, but it's so random I still haven't figured out the trigger. Alright, time for a taste test. Gotta make sure these things are edible. As I thought, it's edible. At least this proves that this ability can produce food. Next step, figuring out how to actually use this thing. So far, I've only tried it on soybeans. I need to see if this ability works with other plants too. Han Feng explores his new powers all day long. Ugh, did I just pass out? My head is killing me. Guess this power takes a serious toll on my mind and body. Still, at least I learned something about this ability. Before I blacked out, I tried using my power on a bunch of different plants. Some didn't react at all. Some grew from seeds into full-blown plants like the soybeans, and some even exploded. After the explosions, they turn into substances that look like coal, but are very light. What the heck? These black substances can be used to heat. No more worrying about staying warm now. Afterward, I tried many more times. Focus. Control your breathing. After several attempts, he achieved some results, although success was still inconsistent. The success rate of this is way too random. I can't find any patterns at all. There must be some kind of logic behind how this ability works, but at least I have some understanding of the activating conditions. The key lies in my consciousness. I need to be at one with nature. My body and mind are both part of the natural world. That is how it is connected to my consciousness. Let's try meat this time. No reaction to meat. Don't tell me it only works on plants. Come on, work your magic. Still nothing. But when I meditate, I can sense two distinct colors. I haven't even tried using the red one yet. All right, red light shows me what you got. To test the red light, Han Feng takes out a piece of meat. It's coming out. Ugh, disgusting. The meat reacted to the red light, but it feels like it got cooked or something. Is that all the red light does? Heat things up? No, it's more than that. It's like a disintegration process. No way. If the green light represents the evolution of matters and the red light the opposite, what if I combine them? The meat got bigger. But where did the soybeans I had in my hand go? No way they merged with the meat, didn't they? This is incredible. It looks, feels, and smells exactly like real meat, but even fresher somehow. One more time, come on. Why? Why did they all fail? Forget it. I'll take my time to figure that out later. Anyway, today was still productive. If I can just master this power, I'll be the man standing at the pinnacle of this apocalyptic world. Wait a second. Food's not gonna cut it. I'm completely defenseless out here. I gotta hurry and find myself a weapon before the temperatures go down. Night was falling, and at the same time, snow began to fall. It's here. It's really happening. Temperatures will drop to 45 below within the week. I need a gun, quickly. But buying guns is illegal, and I don't exactly have any connections. Hey, I'm in construction. Millions riding on every project. You know Lao Wang from the Shigang leader group? He's practically my big brother. I think I've seen this guy around. Want to smoke? These cigarettes were also given to me by my big brother. Exaggerated fashion style. Around here, we call him Brother Lee. Don't be shy. Take one. Don't you want to give your big brother some face? Lee Ji, everyone around calls him Brother Lee. He lives in the same neighborhood as me. He's reputed to be in charge of contracting projects, and he seems to know everyone around here. Hey, Brother Lee, have a smoke. I'm good. I only smoke Huazi. The other brands make me cough. What are you up to? Come on, I'm helping Big Brother with a project, and he said he'd take me to a sauna to show his gratitude. He doesn't have a proper job, but he always acts so busy. Brother, I finished that deal you wanted, the 20 million one. What? Another deal for 10 million needs my help. Maybe he has the connections to get what I need. Brother Lee, long time no see. Do we know each other? It's me, Han Feng. We met a while ago. Brother Lee doesn't remember me? Oh, Han Feng. I've been swamped with work lately. Don't blame me for my bad memory. What can I do for you? Well, it's like this. After Han Feng made his request, Brother Lee was shocked. What? What do you need that for? Seeing his reaction, Han Feng feels a little guilty. Look, pal, your big brother will make it clear. We don't do anything illegal, you hear me? Guns are serious business. I got connections, sure, but I'm not getting you mixed up in something dangerous. No, Brother Lee, you got it all wrong. It's actually some personal grudges I wanted for self-defense. One day, while riding my bike to work, I ran into an old man who spat everywhere. He spat right on my face. So I confront him, and what does he do? He spits on me again. So I gave him a good beating. As he left, he said he'd get back at me. Next day, that guy was waiting for me with his goons. They beat me up and told me they'd do it again if they ever saw me. I've never been so humiliated. That's why I want a weapon for self-defense. That's the long and short version of it. Dude, spitting on someone, that's nasty. What a jerk. Such uncivilized behavior. I think he missed the point. Say no more, pal. I got you covered. I'll make a call to my big brother right now. Let's do this. Thanks, Brother Lee. Let's hop on the bus. If it weren't for my Panamera being serviced, I'd drive you there myself. Don't worry about it. I got my car. Damn it. it, kid. You're living the good life. How much did this thing cost? About 700,000. Not bad, not bad. Pretty good deal, actually. Turn left at the next intersection. Once in the car, the first thing Brother Lee did was take a selfie and immediately post it on social media. This new SUV is still too hard to sit in just now. Man, this weather is really messed up. It went straight from summer to winter overnight. Someone's here. If it isn't Lao Li. What brings you here? Let's go see Boss Liu. I got some stuff to handle. You guys coming? Smoke. Holy. Isn't that the new Tiger SUV? You bought this thing. How much was it? Oh, you know, not much. 700 grand, give to take. Saying it's his own car in front of the actual owner? What a bold move. Big Mouth Lee, what the hell are you doing here this late? Boss Liu, have a smoke. Spit it out. I'm busy. This little brother here wants to buy something from you. He wants to get a gun. A gun? The request immediately changed the mood, and the atmosphere became intense. That's it. A lousy gun. I thought you were bringing me something interesting. Xiangzi. Yes, sir. The gun was put on the table, and the price was announced. 6,000. Actually, Boss Liu, I was thinking of something a little longer. You know, that one with a scope. Kid, don't tell you fuckers are talking about a freaking sniper rifle. You think this is a fucking shopping mall? Think you can get anything you ask for? Just this freaking short one. Take it or leave it. No, Boss Liu, there's a reason for this. See, it all started 5 years ago, his wife. Then Brother Lee tells a deeply emotional story that is completely fabricated. Ugh, disgusting. Freaking disgusting. Real shit. 3 kids and none of them his? This really pisses me off. The stories Brother Lee is making up, it is getting ridiculous. Even for him. A sniper rifle it is. I can make it happen. It might take a few days though. Thank you, Big Brother Liu. Xiangzi, arrange it. See if you can get a semi-auto. Yes, sir. Load him up with ammo too. See? I told you it's all done in minutes. Here, take it. It's a gift. Brother Liu, a buddy of mine, he is with the government. He told me that due to the abnormal weather, they're gonna limit the purchase of supplies soon. It's best to stock up on supplies in advance. Although the statement is strange, Brother Liu still attaches some importance to it. We'll go first then. Get lost. Scram. I'm annoyed just seeing you. See? Didn't I handle this well for you? It went beautifully. My big brother's in a good mood today. I could even ask him for a cannon, and he'd probably say yes. Thanks, Brother Lee. I'll grab you some cigarettes on the way out. Cigarettes? Don't be a silly pal. I do this because I like to help people out. You know that. But if you insist, then Huazi it is. You know other brands make me cough. Don't go crazy. 7, 8 cartons will do. Once I get paid for that project, I'll take you to a sauna. Supplies? Check. Weapon? Check. I'm set for the early days of the apocalypse at least. Time to focus on studying my ability. If I can fully solve the food problem, my chances of survival would skyrocket. Completely absorbed in his thoughts, Han Feng slipped as he walked through the exit door and broke his leg. Pal, you all right? Ugh, my leg. I think it's broken, brother. Please take me to the hospital. About that, I actually don't have a driver's license. I can't drive without a license. I got it. Just lean on me. We'll walk it off. Oh, you're heavy. Let's just get a taxi. I'll pay. At the hospital. See you later, John. Take care on the night shift. You too. Be careful out there. The snow is getting heavier. Head nurse, please come to the heel. We are short-staffed. Yes, right away. I really broke it. There is a stable fracture on your right tibia. I'll set it. You'll need to stay for an hour for observation. After that, you can grab your meds. Of all times, it had to happen just before the apocalypse hit. Hey man, your big brother has to go. I've got a few deals to handle. Call me if you need anything. Take care, bro. The hospital overflowed with patients, victims of accidents caused by the sudden blizzard and plummeting temperatures. Emergency beds lined the hallways, a sad testament to the worsening situation outside. I wonder how long it'll be till I get my meds. Head nurse Jin, we've finished cleaning Bed 5's wounds. Cloud, you take a look? Sure. Vitals are stable. Administer another dose of glucose in 10 minutes. If her heart rate drops below 80, administer an epinephrine. She's amazing. A head nurse at such a young age. Incredibly skilled, kind to every patient. She's really pretty. Really pretty, but way too clueless. Excuse me, head nurse? Coming. Sorry, we're a bit short-staffed right now. Can I come back a bit later to help you? Ouch. My back suddenly started hurting. It's been getting worse lately. Would you mind taking a look? Perhaps tell me what the cause is? I'm sorry, we'll need to get an X-ray to be sure. Come on, just take a quick look. I'll show where it hurts. Here." With an inappropriate gesture, the old man slips his hands around the nurse's waist. "Sorry, I'm really ticklish. Please wait for the resident physician to examine you." "Oops, I think it's a bit lower." Crossing the line, the old man makes a bold and vulgar gesture by grabbing the nurse's buttock. But suddenly, the old man fell to the ground. "Are you all right?" Sorry. First time using one of these. Your phone isn't broken, is it? Don't touch my phone. You brat. Give it to me now." "Just as I thought. You've got some nerve, old man, filming up a nurse's skirt and even molesting her. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't call security and have them escort you to a police cell where they love pervs like you. You better get the f***ing out of here, old man. Of course, I'm not giving your phone back. Next time I see your creepy face, it's going straight to the internet. Damn it. Wait, didn't he say his back hurt? He ran off pretty quick. Are there really people this naive in this world? Ahem, that pervert just filmed up your skirt." "What? Are you serious? How didn't I notice?" "Here, you can decide whether you want to wipe it or call the cops. You should be more careful so perverts don't take advantage of you." "Thank you. I wanted to ask earlier, isn't your ankle injured?" Behind the furnished areas, Han Feng can be heard screaming in pain as he receives treatment. "There, all done. It doesn't hurt now, right?" "Thank you. It doesn't hurt at all. I should be the one thanking you. I won't let such a bad guy get away anymore." "Right, just try to be more aware of your surroundings, okay? You are not aware at all. Head nurse, we need you over here." "All right, don't forget to come back in a week to get your ankle checked." "Okay, 1 week, huh? Guess I won't be able to see her again." Next day, we interrupt this program with urgent morning news. Within the next 24 hours, all regions of the country will experience heavy snow and sharp drop in temperatures. Reports from our overseas correspondents show that temperatures are plummeting worldwide. Our experts, along with specialists from 46 other countries, are rushing to the UN to discuss the cause of this weather anomaly. Experts say this severe cold snap won't last long. However, please pay attention to disaster warnings in your area and follow the arrangements made by the local government. Please remain calm, do not believe or spread rumors, and refrain from hoarding supplies. This disaster shall soon pass. Typical. The government's lying through their teeth again, feeding us bullshit to keep us from panicking. If I hadn't died and come back to life, I might have actually believed them. Now, way not this time. This time I'm prepared. Supplies are fully stocked, the house is reinforced, and the heating system is good to go. Yep, everything is prepared. No need to worry about survival for now. In the residents' discussion group, there is a veritable flood of messages that keeps coming. Liu Bing, did you guys see the news? It's snowing in Egypt. Wu Kuan-yu, freaky, right? I've never seen snow in June before. Jin Tai-yan, I'm freezing to death here. I can't even get out of my house. The snow's too deep. Jian Tai-yan, holy crap, it's up to my calves already. Zhu Yi, my boss just told everyone to work from home. There is too much snow outside. Liu Yan, it's coming down even harder now, and it's gotta be like minus 15 degrees out there. Whoa, everyone in the complex is talking about it. It is 7:40 a.m. when an individual, responding to the pseudonym Mysterious Person, joins the chat. Mysterious Person, attention, people of the New World. Listen up. This snowstorm wasn't caused by normal weather patterns, but by something within the Earth itself. Remember my words. This is no ordinary snowstorm. The Ice Age apocalypse is about to begin. The Ice Age apocalypse? Who is this guy? How does he know about the apocalypse? While the cold continues to freeze the world, Han Feng realizes he isn't the only one who saw this coming. Someone else is out there, whispering warnings. He knows he can't get complacent. He has to stay vigilant against this mysterious person who might be just as prepared as he is. But while Han Feng is concerned about the real disaster, his neighbors are losing their minds over basic logistics. As the snow piles up, the neighborhood group chat turns into a battlefield. They aren't worried about the end of the world yet. They're just annoyed that their lives are being inconvenienced. Besides, who would believe a mysterious person spouting nonsense about the apocalypse? The property management team becomes the immediate scapegoat. The demands start flooding in. Can you clear the snow built up around the neighborhood? I can't even get my car out. Exactly. I am still planning on going to the supermarket to buy food. Am I paying the property management fees for nothing? Be quick and clear the roads at the entrance of the neighborhood too, or else the supermarket will be emptied out. In the middle of the hysteria, one neighbor tries to inject some logic. Why? Are you thinking of driving out with all this built-up snow? Even if you get out of of the neighborhood. You won't be able to drive anywhere else. But the crowd is not looking for the voice of reason. Then what should we do? It's minus 20 degrees. Do you want me to walk all the way there? Controlling a crowd in a state of panic is an almost impossible task, especially when fear takes over. There will always be someone to add fuel to the fire. That's right. Who knows how long this snowstorm will last? I heard everyone is going crazy snatching up supplies. If we don't go now, it will be too late. In the virtual world representing the discussion group, tensions are rising. Where's the property agent? Get out here and give us an explanation. Despite the chaos around them, the property management are trying their best to restore calm. We apologize to all the owners, but the snowstorm is really too heavy. There isn't much we can do, but the crowd turns hostile. Then what's the point of paying you guys? You can't even handle such a small matter? Refund us the property management fees. When the staff tries to explain that the storm is simply too heavy to fight, the neighbors don't want excuses. They want results. They start demanding refunds on their management fees. Watching the notifications ping on his phone, Han Feng can only shake his head. He sighs, annoyed by the sheer futility of the argument. What a completely meaningless fight. This snowstorm isn't something that humans can deal with. Just as the chat is about to boil over, a new voice intervenes. It's Jiang Shuiyu, one of the residents trying to inject a dose of reality into the conversation. Everyone, stop fighting, he pleads. He points out the obvious. The storm is so relentless that any path they clear would be buried again within hours. He suggests that if they had spent their energy working together instead of pointing fingers, they might have actually made progress. Jiang doesn't stop there. He calls them out on their behavior, asking, "The property management guys are also humans. There's nothing they can do in front of a natural disaster. Or are you guys just taking your frustration out on them?" But in a mob, logic is often seen as an attack. The crowd doesn't want to feel guilty. They want to feel right. The chat explodes with virulence. Who the hell are you? Why are you lecturing us instead? Are you an owner? Why are you speaking on behalf of the property management? That's right. Are you part of the property management? Once again, he tries to calm things down gently. Everyone, I am not speaking on behalf of the property management. I am just speaking objectively and realistically. It's meaningless to push the property management into a corner. This matter can't be resolved. We also won't be able to get the result we desire. The crowd has no interest in reason or objectivity. They want results and concrete action. Then why don't you tell us what we should do? That's right. Could it be that you want us to starve to death? Jiang Zhuiyu seemed to have everything prepared, so he presented his plan. Basically, driving a car to the supermarket is impossible. Even if we do clear the roads in our neighborhood, who can guarantee that the roads outside are clear? My suggestion is to walk over. If you accept, I will go down and help the property management clear the footpaths. As Zhang Shuiyu reveals his plan, Han Feng seems to have memories of him. Speaking of which, I think I remember that owner, Zhang. In my previous life, he was a very lively person, but Han Feng knows that in the apocalypse, one should not be naive. He knows that in the frozen wasteland, kindness is often the most expensive mask someone can wear. He watches Jiang's messages with a cold, suspicious eye. Just as the argument against Jiang reaches its peak, another owner cuts through the noise with a blunt, cold truth. Is this matter really that complicated? Those who want to go out should clear the roads. Those who don't should just shut up. It's a simple, logical solution. He even pointed out the absurdity of the whole story, fighting for half a day just to clear some snow. So annoying. Just as the enthusiasm was dying down, Brother Lee jumped into the chat. He's the type of guy who never misses a chance to mention how important he is. He agrees to help, but only while making sure everyone knows how busy he is with business projects worth a few million. Han Feng can't help but roll his eyes at the screen. He immediately recognized him. Ugh, this manner of speaking is very similar to someone I know. And so, one after another, the residents volunteer to help clear the snow. I will go too. Count me in. I am running out of food. I need to buy a few days' worth. Even some women are very enthusiastic. I will go too, but my strength is slightly weak. Then come the manipulators. Some residents realize they can't avoid the call to action without looking like villains, so they use the sick hero tactic. Although I have had the flu these past 2 days, Brother Jiang has set an example. I will also go down to help. Han Feng didn't fall for it. It's a clever lie by pretending to be sick but willing, stirring up sympathy. And it worked. The White Knights and Simp immediately jumped at the opportunity to make themselves look good. There are so many men here. How can we let Hyona go? You should stay home, rest well, and recuperate. The hypocrite shows gratitude, attracting the jealousy of other women. Thank you for your concern, everyone. I will have to trouble all of you with the cleaning. Frustrated, Han Feng nevertheless recognizes Hyona's acting talent. Regarding putting on an act, Hyona is really good at it. Speaking of the devil, after fooling everyone, Lee Hyona turns to Han Feng. Han Feng, what are you busy with these few days? You said you would contact me. I'm still waiting. Her goal is to ask him to go out into the cold to buy food for her, and of course, without any shame, she asks him to buy a lot while she stays warm in her room. She even adds a little touch. Sitting in her bed, Hyona takes a provocative picture of herself and sends it to Han Feng in an attempt to seduce him. But Han Feng had already learned his lesson in his previous life. In such weather conditions, you are still wearing so little to try to seduce me. You are really putting in the effort to make me run your errands. Han Feng, look for an answer anyway to make her angry. Let me think about how I should reply to her. And it worked. Hyona threw her phone on the bed and stomped on it in rage. Meanwhile, Han Feng enjoys his time watching influencers dance. Today is the third day since it started snowing. The temperature is now minus 20 degrees. In the early stage of the apocalypse, we still had the central heating system running. We still had the internet, and everyone was still going on with their daily lives as usual. I can only scroll through videos to pass my time as well. It's only the second day, and I am already bored. Looks like the biggest problem of the apocalypse is to learn how to endure loneliness. My leg isn't doing too good either. A broken bone needs at least a few months to completely recover. While scrolling through videos, he comes across a video discussing a medical phenomenon, a case involving someone capable of self-healing. After doctors sewed up the wounds of this man who jumped off from the 15th floor, they discovered that his damaged internal organs and bones had started to regenerate. Is this real or fake? Please follow and watch next week's videos. This self-healing story gave him an idea. Why didn't I think of this? Han Feng makes a green light appear around his hand, then grabs his broken leg. As he does with food, he tries to use his power on himself to see if he can heal himself. But after a while, nothing happens, and he eventually gives up. Looks like I was overthinking it. I thought the green light would be able to help my injury recover faster. Han Feng ended up falling asleep. Once asleep, he dreams of sheep as his mount and flying sheep heads. It's time for the sheep to take a walk. After falling asleep, Han Feng has a very strange dream. Instead of a horse, he gallops on a sheep. On top of that, he is also accompanied by a flying sheep's head. Galloping on a sheep, Han Feng whips the animal. Annoyed at being mistreated, the sheep rebels and throws its rider to the ground. This dream might seem quite ordinary, but when he falls, he sprains his ankle just like in real life. As he sat there in pain, a sheep approached and began to lick his wound. He found this disgusting and pushed the animal away. The animal persists and he continues to push it away. Suddenly, something unexpected happens. The sheep's tongue, like a tentacle, wraps itself tightly around his injured leg. With the strength of its tongue, the animal lifts Han Feng's leg upward, and as if by magic, the sheep's tongue emits the same green glow as Han Feng's power. Han Feng sat up with a shock, breathless and drenched in sweat. It was only a nightmare, but the sensation of the sheep's tongue on his skin remained terribly real. What's with this hideous and messy dream? Han Feng was in for more surprises. When he woke up, the glow was still emanating from his injured leg, and the most impressive thing was that it had healed. My leg doesn't hurt anymore. Confused by this miracle, he tried to analyze the origin of his healing. Does this green light help with self-recovery while sleeping? To confirm his suspicions, he immediately set up a test experiment. He took a knife, cut his finger, and immediately used the green light to heal himself. And that's how he finally understood what had happened. While Han Feng was experimenting, outside things were taking shape. Thanks to the residents' efforts, a passable path had been cleared at the entrance to the building. Zhang Xueyu, the man Han Feng remembers as being lively, takes center stage. He stands there with a radiant, benevolent smile, applauding the exhausted neighbors like a proud leader. Jiang is a master of social grace. He immediately turns his attention to the elderly, making sure everyone sees his respect for them. But Uncle Liu Guangyao is just as humble. He waves off the praise, pointing instead to the real muscle of the operation. The Jin brothers, Jin Qinwen and Jin Qinwu. I didn't do much. It was all mostly thanks to the two Jin brothers. While the two brothers enjoyed this brief moment of glory, a young woman fell into the snow beside them. They hurried to help the young woman. "Are you all right? The ground's frozen. Be careful." She looks up, all smiles, and thanks them. Seeing an opportunity to be even more chivalrous, the brothers offer their help before leaving. "Then we will go clear up the main path first. Just call for us if you need any help." The young woman declined politely. "Go ahead, I can handle it myself." Despite their efforts, the snow is falling harder and harder. Jiang Xueyu is concerned and suggests that they don't linger too long when they go to buy supplies. The need to go buy supplies is gradually turning into a race against time. It is at this moment that Liu Guangyao remembers something. Talking about supplies reminded me of something. Curious, Jiang Xueyu asked what it was. Liu Guangyao hesitated at first, but then ended up telling him everything. "I heard that, for the past few days, an owner in our neighborhood has been bringing back supplies on a small truck, like he's moving houses." Jiang Xueyu tries to appear less alarmist. "Isn't that a common sight? Perhaps it's someone who just moved in, or someone whose house is undergoing renovations." "But Uncle Liu isn't buying it," he insists, claiming that he saw gas tanks and a fireplace. "These are very life-saving items during this severe snowstorm." Liu goes a step further, suggesting that this person wasn't just moving. They were preparing for exactly what is happening right now. Han Feng doesn't know it yet, but this gossip has just put a target on his back. This intense atmosphere is broken by the arrival of the Jin brothers. "Brother Jiang, Uncle Liu, the main path has been cleared. We should be able to go out now." A little surprised by the two brothers, Uncle Liu simply thanked them. Out of nowhere behind the Jin brothers, a man appears. He looks unstable, his eyes darting around as he eavesdrops on the conversation. "You guys were talking about making preparations to get through the winter just now. That sounds interesting." But before he can dig deeper, he is silenced by a massive snowball to the back of the head. The snowball was thrown by Liu Yan. She barks at Wu Kuan-yu to stop skiving and get back to work, but Wu Kuan-yu has reached his breaking point. He isn't lazy, he's exhausted. He snaps back, claiming he's been doing all the heavy lifting, while Liu Yan just stood by and watched. Instead of denying it, Liu Yan simply pivots to lecturing him on his manners. "Don't point at others when you speak." Jiang Xueyu once again takes his place as self-proclaimed leader and shuts down the argument. "Stop quarreling, you two. The main path has been cleared." And he continues, ordering everyone around to get ready to head out the supermarket to buy supplies. As the group prepares to head, the twins are busy scribbling down shopping lists for themselves and their mother. Uncle Liu, still fixated on the mysterious supplies. "Xiao Jiang, what's your thoughts on this matter? Do you think it's related to this snowstorm?" Jiang responds politely with dismissive smile. "Truthfully speaking, I am not too concerned about it. It's just a brief snowstorm. It will stop very soon. At that time, everyone's lives will return to normal. So for now, I don't think they are related." He even spins it as a positive, saying that if someone does have resources, it's a good thing for the neighborhood. Uncle Liu seems to accept this, or perhaps that's what he shows. He ends the conversation with a dry remark. "You are right. The young ones do indeed use their brain more. The departure is imminent. Outside, the world is disappearing behind a wall of white as the blizzard reaches a new level of intensity. Everyone, queue up and get ready to move out. The snow is getting heavier. Let's try to get back within 3 hours." While the neighborhood expedition struggles through the streets, the world outside is transforming. The blizzard is so intense that snow is no longer just falling. It's colonizing the architecture. Every ledge, every windowsill, and every protrusion on the buildings is being swallowed by thick, heavy layers of white. Han Feng is finally taking a moment to rest, but the peace is shattered. A sudden heavy noise at his door jolts him awake. "Open the door, little brother. It's Brother Li." "Sorry, I was sleeping." "Little brother, I brought you the item you wanted. It's semi-automatic." Han Feng opens the door to find Brother Li. He brought the specialized order Han Feng had previously arranged through Brother Liu. Brother Li even passes along a message of gratitude. "Brother Liu told me to thank you properly. Luckily, we stocked up on supplies in advance thanks to you." Han Feng keeps it brief and polite, but he notices something off. Brother Li, usually brimming Feng, with arrogant confidence, looks rattled. His usual cheerful mask has slipped. When Han Feng asks what's wrong, Brother Li drops a bombshell that changes everything. Do you know about the supermarket in the East District? We went there today after clearing the snow, but the supermarket had already been emptied out by someone last night. Han Feng is shocked. Emptying a massive supermarket in a single night, secretly, in the middle of a blizzard, is logically impossible for normal humans. But his reaction suggests that he was aware of it. After bidding Brother Li a quick farewell, with Li offering a surprisingly motherly piece of advice to wear more clothes, Han Feng shuts his door and sinks into thought. His mind races through logic. To move that much inventory would require a fleet of trucks and dozens of men, all working in silence. There's only one other explanation, he only ever seen in the fiction he used to read: a dimension-type ability. If someone has the power to store objects in another dimension, they could ghost an entire warehouse in hours. This realization hits Han Feng like a ton of bricks. Could there really be a superhuman with a dimension-type ability? If so, that would mean he wouldn't be the only one with superpowers. The game has officially changed. Han Feng isn't just surviving a snowstorm anymore. He's potentially sharing a city with others who have been awakened. The news of a potential dimension user has lit a fire under Han Feng. If he isn't the only apex predator in this frozen world, he needs to be the strongest one. He realizes that simply having an ability isn't enough. He needs to master it. He needs countermeasures. With his current understanding, he knows that his ability affects all kinds of food supplies, being able to increase their quantity or size. But there is a but. The success rate is really low. The soybean success rate is 1 out of 10, while the meat can fail tens of times. Watching precious protein wither away into nothingness is enough to drive anyone mad. His frustration boils over. Why is this happening? He doesn't stop. Since waking up until the dead of night, Han Feng pushes himself to the limit of exhaustion. He wastes piles of food, turning his luxury kitchen into a laboratory of failure. But finally, through the fatigue, he feels a shift. He begins to understand the mechanics behind the magic. He realizes the green light energy isn't a constant on/off switch. You can't just throw energy at food and hope for the best. Success depends on the intensity and flow of the energy he's outputting. He's been treating his power like a blunt instrument when it actually requires the precision of a scalpel. After hours of grueling failure, Han Feng finally sees the pattern hidden within the green light. He realizes that his ability isn't just about outputting power, it's about calibration. Every type of food has its own unique energy value. If he pushes too much energy, it burns out. Too little, and it never activates. Timing is just as critical. If he maintains the connection for a second too long, the structure of the food collapses. As he analyzes the data, a memory from his youth flashes through his mind. Wait a minute, this model is familiar. It's exactly like that online dancing game that was popular decades ago. If the energy values are like the directional input keys, the energy inputs have to be correct for every second. Lastly, I have to pinpoint the critical point. He focuses. He visualizes the rhythm. He matches the energy frequency of a single soybean, hits the perfect timing, and success. No more random failures. By treating his supernatural power like a gaming mechanic, he has unlocked 100% efficiency. With the logic of plants mastered, Han Feng looks at the next challenge on his table: the meat. If plants are the easy mode of this game, meat is the hard mode. Not to mention that after a failure, it becomes an extremely disgusting black liquid. Having mastered the easy mode of plants, Han Feng moves on to the main event. In his mind, the theory is the same, but the execution is on a whole different level. He attempts to combine the green and red lights, trying to find that perfect rhythm, but he misses the mark. Meat requires a much longer casting time compared to vegetables. The result? Everything exploded on his face. Failure follows failure. 10 times, 20 times. The frustration reaches a boiling point. Screw you. Isn't this difficulty way too high? If his kitchen was messy before, it is now a disaster zone. A disgusting black sludge, the remains of his failed experiments, is splattered across the walls, the floor, and his clothes. But Han Feng doesn't stop. He isn't just a survivor. He's a pro gamer, facing a final boss. He sits in the middle of the filth, closing his eyes to block out the mess. In the silence of his fortified apartment, he visualizes the arrows of the dancing game, using them as a compass to guide his energy. Every second is a calculation. Every drop of sweat is a price paid for power. He moves with surgical precision, pouring the exact amount of energy at the exact millisecond required. And then it happens. The light stabilizes. The reaction completes. Success. The taste of victory. Han Feng stands there, covered in sweat, his eyes heavy with exhaustion. But beneath the grime, he is wearing the smile of a man who has just conquered the impossible. The physical toll finally hits him. His legs give out and he collapses onto the floor, laughing like a madman while his stomach growls in protest. Finally, I've found the synthesis method for meats. The morning of July 17th, the third day of the storm, begins with the flickering glow of a television. Han Feng wakes up on his couch to the sound of a news anchor trying to maintain a calm that no longer exists. The broadcast claims that the situation is under control and that support personnel are on their way. But the ticker tape tells a different story. Traffic, electricity, and communication networks are failing nationwide. The government's advice? Stay home and wait. History repeats itself. To Han Feng, this is a hauntingly familiar script. He's lived this before. He knows that stay home and wait is just a polite way of saying you're on your own. As if on cue, his phone begins to vibrate uncontrollably. The neighborhood group chat has reached a fever pitch. The residents are split into two camps. The believers, those clinging to the news, desperately hoping that a truck full of food and blankets is just around the corner. The realists, those who realize that if help hasn't arrived by now, it isn't coming. Just as the bickering reaches a breaking point, Uncle Liu drops a truth bomb that silences the chat. He's an old man with deep connections, and he isn't buying the propaganda. Do you really believe the news? He asks. If the situation really was under control, like what the news said, then the support team would have arrived long ago. He reveals a terrifying piece of intel from his friends on the outside. It's not food trucks heading towards City A. It's armored vehicles, tanks, and heavy weaponry. Uncle Liu's conclusion is chilling. There is only one possibility left. War is about to commence. Uncle Liu has just shattered the neighborhood's last bit of hope. But is it really a war, or is the government preparing for something even more supernatural? While the neighbors prepare for battle, Han Feng knows the real enemy hasn't even shown its face yet. With Uncle Liu's words ringing in their ears, war is about to commence. The group chat descends into absolute chaos. The residents are no longer just annoyed, they are terrified. Hey, is that true? Then aren't we done for? The thin thread of hope they were holding on to has finally snapped. While the neighborhood is spiraling, we see Han Feng. He's the picture of calm, sitting comfortably in his warm room, watching the notifications scroll by. He doesn't look worried, he looks thoughtful. A war is commencing, he muses. In his previous life, he had heard about this rumor. Just as the panic reaches a crescendo, Jiang Shuiyu enters the chat. He plays the room perfectly, uses Uncle Liu's grim theory to heighten the urgency by telling the resident that if the information is true, then they need to prepare themselves. But just like Han Feng, Jiang Shuiyu isn't suffering. We see him lounging in his own warm, well-lit room, phone in hand. He isn't panicked, he's calculating. He points out the obvious. Some neighbors are already starving because they didn't prepare, and the government is nowhere to be found. His solution: socialism. I think we should start organizing ourselves, he suggests. We need to help the owners who are facing difficulties. Jiang Shuiyu doubles down on his heroic persona. By publicly offering half of his own stash, he sets a moral standard that feels more like a trap than a gift. Starting with me, he declares. Whoever needs food can come to me anytime. His message acts like a grenade in the chat. The residents explode into a frenzy of messages. Some are praising his leadership, while others are sweating, realizing the spotlight is about to turn on them. Wu Kuan-yu, the man we saw earlier being bullied while shoveling snow, decides to use this moment for a bit of revenge. He enthusiastically agrees with Jiang, but then immediately puts a target on Li Hyona, a woman who clearly has a history with him. Brother Jiang is right. We can't just let families starve, Wu types, before adding the sting. Count me in. Yona, will you be donating too? Yona isn't having it. She sees right through the heroic act and calls him out on his pettiness. She's completely annoyed, her phone practically glowing with her rage. Are you crazy, Wu Kuan-yu? She snaps. There are so many people here, yet you had to ask me. Is it because I rejected you before? Hyona quickly shifts to playing the victim, putting on a helpless act. She quickly replied, saying that she's really sorry and doesn't even have any spare food for herself. Immediately, her her fan club of male neighbors jumps to her defense, attacking Wu Kuan-yu for even asking. Seeing the tide turn against him, Wu Kuan-yu backtracks, using the lack of cooperation as an excuse to keep his own food. "If we can't guarantee true unity, then I won't be donating either," he declares. The sentiment spreads like a virus. Another neighbor chimes in, capturing the cynical mood of the building. That's true. No one wants to become a sucker. The tension in the chat reaches a stalemate as the residents remain divided. But then, something shifts. Whether it's the fear of the war or the desire to look like a good person, the dominoes finally start to fall. Regarding the donation, "Count me in," one resident types. The momentum builds fast. It's not just food anymore. People start offering clothes and even precious medicine. For a brief moment, it looks like humanity is winning. This is exactly what Jiang Shuiyu was waiting for. He steps back into the spotlight to consolidate this newfound energy. "Let me express my thanks to all of you on behalf of the owners," he says, sounding every bit like a statesman. "There are quite a lot of us here. Why don't we appoint someone to take charge of this?" Jiang doesn't wait for a volunteer. He immediately proposes the creation of an interim owners committee. It sounds official, safe, and necessary. He frames it as an emergency measure to handle the planning and support of donated supplies. But in reality, he's just built himself a throne. By controlling the committee, he controls the flow of every scrap of food and every pill in the building. While the neighbors are cheering for their new government, Han Feng is watching from his couch, a cold smirk on his face. He's seen this move before, and he knows how it ends. "Interim committee," he thinks, scrolling through the praise. I remember this happened in my previous life too. It was never about support. It was just a scheme to legalize stealing other people's resources. 19th July, 5th day of the apocalypse. The temperature outside has already dropped to minus 40 degrees. The central heating system is no longer in working condition due to the extreme weather. Everyone is thinking of ways to keep themselves warm and maintain their body temperature. It's the same as my previous life. The situation will only continue to get worse, except for me. While the world outside is literally burning its history to stay alive, Han Feng is leaning back on his couch, a controller in his hand. He isn't fighting for his life. He's fighting virtual monsters. Damn, so many zombies! The high-energy sounds of Han Feng's zombie game are suddenly cut short by the sharp, persistent ring of his smartphone. "Hello," said Han Feng after picking up. "Hello, is this Mr. Han Feng, the owner of 1801? I am the person in charge of Block 8. We will be heading down to clear the roads in 20 minutes. After you are done, please head down to the basement car park to look for me to sign the attendance." Han Feng stares at the unknown number, his face twisting into an expression of pure disbelief and annoyance. Are these people blind? It's minus 40 degrees and the snow is swallowing the city. Clear the roads? Han Feng will clear their uncle. Despite his anger, Han Feng's survival instincts kick in. He knows that if he refuses, he becomes an outlier, a person of interest for the committee. But if he plays along, there's less chance they'll wonder why he looks so healthy while they're starving. He has to keep his secrets buried, even if it means doing this nonsense. Han Feng heads down to the first-floor lobby. Dozens of residents are huddled there, clutching shovels and picks, and others digging tools. But as they look toward the glass entrance, the reality of their situation hits them. The snow has already sealed up the first-floor entrance. Damn, the paths that we cleared yesterday. I have never seen snow piled up so high in my entire life. Let's just push the door open first. As the men start to heave against the door, Han Feng tries to blend into the shadows at the back, but his physical health makes him stand out among the shivering, gaunt neighbors. One of the men near the front spots him. "Black hair brother, come give us a hand." Annoyed, but he accepts anyway. They counted to 3. Then on 3, they push the door open with all their might. The doors fly open, but the victory is short-lived. A violent, minus 40 degrees Celsius blast of wind and ice slams into the lobby, instantly blinding the residents. Yet this was only a small taste of the real snowstorm. Han Feng already knew that they would get serious frostbite if they went out in this weather. They might even die. But to blend in, he still stays with the others. Maybe not for long, because after what happened, the other residents began to realize what awaited them. The residents scramble backward, shielding their faces as the freezing wind howls through the lobby. "We will definitely get frostbite if we go out to clear the paths. With this amount of snow, you can clear your butt. Only an idiot would go out in this temperature." Amidst the panic and retreat. A loud, familiar voice booms through the lobby. "I'm here!" It's Brother Lee marching toward the entrance with his usual over-the-top confidence. Han Feng watches him, half amused and half bewildered, wondering what kind of stunt the big shot is planning now. "Why is everyone acting like a coward?" he asks. "What we need is an imposing attitude." The neighbors try to pull him back, terrified for his life. "Brother, don't try to be brave. This isn't a game." "That's right. Let's wait for the snow to stop first." But Brother Lee doesn't listen. He takes a massive, dramatic drag on his cigarette and lets out a primal roar. Like a madman, he dives headfirst into the wall of snow, digging like a crazed badger. For a few seconds, all the residents see is a blur of motion and flying ice. Then silence. The white abyss swallows him whole. He is gone. The silence lasts only a heartbeat before the screams begin. "Help! Help me! Help me! Help!" The residents rush forward, grabbing him and hauling him back into the lobby like a frozen tuna. They slam the doors shut, sealing out the wind. Brother Lee collapses on the floor, coughing violently. His skin is already turning a sickly, pale purple. He went out as a lion and came back a popsicle. Han Feng tries to wake Brother Lee, but there is no answer. Brother Lee's eyes are wide and blank, staring at nothing. The cold has shocked his system into silence. Seeing that the road clearing is a lost cause, Han Feng takes charge to keep the group moving. "Everyone, let's go to the car park to look for the person in charge and sign our attendance first. We can decide what to do when the snow stops. With this snowstorm, it's no longer a situation that can be solved with manpower." The scene shifts to the basement car park. The dim, flickering lights and concrete walls create a grim, bunker-like atmosphere. In the center of the gloom stands a crowd gathered around one man, Zhang Shuiyu. The snow is indeed too heavy right now. Let's wait for the snow to lighten up before we start clearing. Also, the basement car park will be designated as the donation and collection point of resources. Standing at the back of the crowd, Han Feng narrows his eyes, observing the man at the center of the circle. Is he the one with the surname Jiang in the group? So he is the one that spearheaded the establishment of that scam committee. Jiang Shuiyu continues his performance, his voice echoing with practiced warmth through the cold concrete. "Once again, thank you everyone for your support. I really did not expect so many owners to be willing to donate their resources. Your generous donations will help even more owners who are in a difficult situation. I once again thank all of you in their place." The crowd eats it up. The fear of the war and the cold has made them desperate for a leader, and Jiang is giving them exactly what they want to hear. Everyone faces difficulties at one point or another. It's only right for us to help each other. As long as we are united, I believe we will be able to get through this crisis together. Han Feng looks at the neighbors, celebrate their unity with a look of pity and cold detachment. He knows the math of the apocalypse. The more people you try to save, the faster the resources vanish, and the snowstorm is not expected to let up anytime soon. Brother Lee, still visibly blue and vibrating from his near-death experience in the snow, has finally had enough. He's done with imposing attitudes for the day. Little brother, I'm heading up first." As Han Feng turns to leave, something catches his eye. Amidst the crowd of desperate, shivering residents, someone is moving with a sense of purpose. Though they're struggling under a massive load, it's the nurse who treated Han Feng's leg. She's carrying a precarious stack of boxes, likely medical supplies or food for the donation point, and is trying to navigate the packed car park. The girl is so focused on balancing the boxes that she doesn't see the person right in front of her. She trips. Her balance shatters. Before she can hit the cold concrete, Han Feng moves, catches her with one arm, and steadies the boxes with the other, preventing her from falling. "Are you okay?" She keeps her eyes closed, her face flushing bright red from the sudden proximity and embarrassment. As she gathers her senses, the nurse recognizes him, but as a medical professional, she immediately notices something that no one else has. Han Feng isn't limping. He isn't favoring his leg. He's standing perfectly stable. She knows better than anyone that his injury should have taken weeks, if not months, to recover. She asks him anyway if his leg has recovered yet. Han Feng doesn't mention his healing abilities. He leans on the oldest excuse in the book, genetics. He just makes up a story, claiming that his healing speed has always been great ever since he was young. "I can recover from common injuries in just a few days." So that's how it is. Luckily for him, the nurse isn't a cynical investigator. She's an enthusiast enthusiast. Her eyes literally light up with stars as she buys his story hook, line, and sinker. To move the conversation away from his miracle leg, Han Feng offers to carry her heavy load. He wants to show off a bit of that healed strength as a thank you for her previous help. The nurse warned Han Feng that it was very heavy, but given his build, Han Feng didn't take her warning seriously. Since you put it that way, I will have to trouble you. The moment the nurse hands over the boxes, Han Feng's cool exterior shatters. The weight is astronomical. He is instantly slammed into a deep squat, his eyes wide with shock as he fights to keep from face-planting on the concrete. Struggling back to his feet while his muscles scream, Han Feng tries to play it cool while gasping for air. He timidly asked what was in the boxes. The nurse cheerfully replies that those are the medical supplies. She plans to donate them. The nurse looks at him with a cute, slightly ironic blush. She can see he's struggling and offers to take the burden back, wounding Han Feng's pride in the process. But Han Feng continues to try to keep his cool. It's fine. I don't feel anything at all. As they walk side by side toward the donation point, the nurse reveals a little more about herself. She reveals that her petite frame is a lie. To be more precise, her size does not match her strength. She's actually much stronger than most guys. This intrigues Han Feng, who decides to get more information. Really? Have you always been strong since you were young? The nurse's playful demeanor vanishes. She blushes, looking down at her feet with a hint of something deeper, maybe even something supernatural. Then she replied hesitantly, "Not really. Actually, there's a reason behind it." Han Feng, even more intrigued, found himself completely captivated by the nurse's story. Just as she was about to spill the reason behind her inhuman strength, the nurse catches herself. She gets flustered, waving her hands as if trying to shoo away the topic. "It's nothing. Sorry, it's just that something happened. I can't really explain it clearly." To break the awkward silence, she stops in her tracks and leans in close to Han Feng, her curiosity shifting toward him. "Right. I still don't know what your name is." Han Feng keeps it simple and introduces himself simply, Han Feng. The vibe shifts as the light catches her face. Despite the grime of the basement and the biting cold, she looks radiant. And unlike Han Feng, she responds warmly. "I am called Jin Shui. Nice to meet you." The nurse's charm caught Han Feng off guard. He stood there frozen for a moment, unable to take his eyes off her. As they resume their walk, Jin Shui tries to keep the conversation flowing. "So, Han Feng, what do you do?" "Unemployed," Han Feng replies. Jin Shui is amazed all over again. Han Feng asks her what's so surprising about an unemployed person. Their light-hearted banter is cut short. A man rushing through the crowded car park carelessly shoulders past them. The force of the bump sends Jin Shui stumbling right into Han Feng. The man apologizes and keeps walking without stopping. Meanwhile, Jin Shui bumps into Han Feng. For a split second, time slows down. Han Feng felt the soft, supple press on his arm. Looking closer, it was Jin Shui's chest. His heart does a somersault, and his face instantly turns a deep bright red. They quickly scramble apart, putting a respectable distance between each other to hide their mutual embarrassment. But the moment of intimacy didn't go unnoticed. Not far from them, Huina notices them and is surprised to see Han Feng with the beautiful nurse. Without hesitation, she called out to him, "Hi, Han Feng. Why didn't you tell me you were out here?" Seeing how close Jin Shui and Han Feng are, Huina acts out of pure jealousy, or rather, out of pure manipulation. She walks up to Han Feng, takes his arm, and pulls him close to her chest, completely oblivious to the world around them. She moves even closer to Han Feng to give the impression that they are more than just acquaintances. She leans slightly toward him and pretends to be interested in Jin Shui. "Who is this? Your friend?" Completely embarrassed and confused by Huina's behavior, Jin Shui takes the boxes back from Han Feng and walks away. You two can continue chatting. I won't disturb you. I will carry it over myself, thank you." Han Feng doesn't even have time to react. He shyly agrees. Jin Shui hurriedly walks away from them, while Huina seems to be taking a perverse pleasure in the situation. Now that it's just the two of them, Han Feng asks her what she's doing here. She says she came down to receive supplies. Then she turns the conversation back to him. "You didn't contact me. I was worried that something had happened to you." Han Feng sees right through her game, but doesn't want to waste his time on her, so he replies that he was just about to send her a message. But Huina couldn't care less about those messages. She has a completely different goal in mind. But to be less direct, she takes the opportunity to turn the situation to her advantage. She starts by teasing him, telling him that he's lying and that she saw him happily chatting away with Jin Shui. Then she adopts a more cheerful and innocent tone to talk about her real goal. That's right, Han Feng. Do you have any spare food supplies at your house? I've almost run out. Can you share some with me? But Han Feng is already familiar with her manipulative little games. He just smiles as he watches her put on a show. But so as not to arouse suspicion, Han Feng goes along with her. I don't have much food left, but I can share some with you. But you still haven't replied to the message that I sent you a few days ago. For a moment, he steps out of character just to tease her a little. He slips his hand behind her back, grabs her, and pulls her toward him. Want to come to my place and accompany me for a few days? Huina didn't expect that. Not from the Han Feng she knows. She was completely caught off guard, but she quickly stepped back and resumed her acting. I didn't get what you meant at that time. If you want me to chat with you, you can just look for me online. Han Feng has no interest in playing Huina's social games. He lets out a long, exaggerated yawn, acting like her presence is the most boring thing in the world. He turns his back on her, a move that would have been unthinkable for the old Han Feng. Yona is stunned. Her queen bee status is failing, and she realizes her usual manipulation isn't working. In a panic, she drops the snark and chases after him, grabbing his jacket to stop him from leaving. Wait, Huina is a master actress. She lowers her head, her voice trembling slightly, shifting into the misunderstood lover persona. She looks up at him with wide, watery eyes, and she begins her performance. I feel like you have changed recently. You know that I have always been very serious about my feelings. She leans in, making it seem like she's revealing her deepest secret. It's a classic gaslighting move, making him feel bad for her selfishness. I don't want people to think that I am with you just because you are rich. So can you give me a little more time? Han Feng realizes he's been too cold. If he changes too fast, people will get suspicious. To keep his secret safe, he decides to play along. He softens his expression, putting on the face of the love-struck fool she used to control. But he admits that she is convincing, and that if he hadn't died because of her, he would have believed her. He really wants to tear off her ugly mask right now, but it's not time yet. Behind Han Feng's moved expression, his mind is a dark abyss of hatred. A shadowy memory flashes across the screen, the silhouette of a man. This is the person Huina betrayed him with in his previous life. As he recalls the dark memories of his past, an idea pops into his head. He doesn't need to hunt his enemies. He just needs to let them think they are winning. He just has to proceed like he did in his previous life and let Huina take care of the rest. To keep his enemies close, Han Feng flips the switch. He drops the cold survivor persona and puts on the mask of the hopeless romantic that Hyuna remembers. Even she is taken aback by how quickly he seems to fold. Han Feng leans fully into the role, flashing her a bright, seemingly happy smile. He dangles the one thing more valuable than gold in this frozen hell. I will be waiting for your reply. I will deliver some food supplies to you tomorrow. For Huina, it's mission accomplished. Really, Han Feng, you are the best. The couple shares a tender goodbye, both playing their parts to perfection. The moment they turn their backs on each other, the masks are dropped. Huina's face twists into a smug look of triumph. She thinks she has her ATM back under her thumb. Han Feng's pretty proud of his acting. He knows he just set the ultimate trap. Time skips forward. Outside, the blizzard is no longer just a storm. It's a burial. The buildings are encased in thick, jagged ice, and the world is a silent white grave. Inside his warm, high-tech room, Han Feng is living a different reality. He's sitting down to a steaming, delicious meal and a cold drink. Beside him, his phone is vibrating non-stop. The screen is flooded with desperate, angry messages from Yona. Han Feng, what are you doing? You said you were going to give me some supplies 2 days ago. When are you going to deliver it to me? Why are you not replying to my messages? Han Feng doesn't even glance at the screen. The tomorrow he promised isn't coming. He picks up his chopsticks and takes a slow, satisfied bite. This weather is perfect for such nice and warm food. This is the end of this chapter. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe. Have a nice day.